What is up, YouTube? That's here today. I'm super excited to be back playing some more Pokemon VGC 2022 Series 12 content on the Ranked Master Ball ladder. Today we're using a little bit of Rayquaza. I haven't really seen that much Rayquaza, and I do respect this Pokemon. This isn't an episode of the Even More Bad Pokemon series because we're using some good mons today. Zacian, Regieleki, Grimmsnarl. I actually think this is a great way to test to see if Rayquaza Comfey can be good. We're going to be using a special Rayquaza today, built similar to how I like to play Zekrom. You know, I love playing my special Zekrom, and I'm trying to experiment a little bit outside the box to see if Rayquaza can be used in a relatively similar way with things like Hurricane for max Airstream, Earth Power for max Quake, and the obvious Draco Meteor for max Wormwind. I think it's a really cool team. We're also going to be using Imprisoned Zacian and Ditto. We're really going to be trying to punish opposing players for using Zacian against us. So we have an Imprisoned Zacian to check their Zacian, but we also have a Ditto to copy their Zacian, gain the Intrepid Sword boost, the +1, and then a second Intrepid Sword boost on top of that for a +2 to be able to OHKO them back. Supporting Pokemon are going to be things like Regieleki for a little bit of speed control, and then Grimmsnarl for some, you know, turn 1, turn 2 shenanigans. I actually think I'm playing Fake Tears Grim today, so we can pair that with Ray or Lecky and just melt something turn 1 if we have to. So I would say this is a very aggressive team. I wouldn't take this team to a tournament, but I do think this team is great for, you know, learning a little bit more about the meta and trying to experiment, think outside the box instead of just playing something super boring and standard. So if you guys like this, think about let me know in the comments below. There's also a link to my Patreon. You guys can try this rental team, check out my PokePaste, and let me know what you think about it. And without further ado, we're just going to hop right on into the games. Wish me luck. Here we go. Zacian Ditto. Okay, Zacian Ditto Ogre. Okay, this is going to be kind of hard to deal with, but I really like the fact that like the Entity and the Rillaboom on that team clash super hard. I think Ray's going to be really nice here. I don't think there's an issue with going Ray Comfey. Zacian doesn't just one-shot everything. They also don't have a ton of speed control, but you can actually get away with going Lucky here. That'd have to be a Scarf Ogre to be even the slightest bit impactful. So Lecky's good here. Lecky Zacian actually seems kind of sick with like Ditto Ray. I'm going to try and win the game real quick here. We're going to try and do that. I like their team a lot, though. I think Ditto's very underrated. I think a lot of people are disrespecting what Ditto brings to the table. It can give you a third restricted if you play the game correctly. And, yeah, especially on teams that, like, just want to go fast. Like, especially teams that want to go fast without Tailwind, which is what both of our teams are doing, basically. So let's see how this works here. So we see the Entity Ogre. Okay. So they can go for, like, Follow Me Spout. We have Electro Web. Like, we have Electro Web. The only way they're even like half okay here is something like, let's see, something like Scarf Ogre is the only out that you have. So let's just go for it. Oh, then we can just see that the Psychic Train came up before, so it's not Scarf. It's probably vested then. So that means we're just going to go with like Electro Web. Big Electro Web. Do I even care what you do with this Ogre? I think I'm just switching my Ray, because, like, I don't care what your Lucky's doing. Sorry, not Lucky, your Entity's doing. I do not care. It's probably protecting. So you can get the maximum amount of turns. And this is going to turn off the rain, which means our Lucky will take less damage from the Water Spout. So Airlock's up. Follow me? Same thing. Follow me and or protect. You know, it wasn't doing any damage. So let's just go for the Electro Web. Awesome. This is going to really weaken that Spout. Like, a lot. Like, look at that damage in that Ogre. The weakest Spout the world has literally ever seen. And we're just going to start Airstreaming from this. This is great. Spout. This is going to do, like, 30%. Oh, God! That did so much. Why did that do? Is that a crit? Did you crit my Lucky? Good thing. Orb Ogre? What? Oh, my gosh. Well, good thing we did that, right? We want the Airstream, I think. Yeah, and then we can go Electro up next turn. Electro plus Earth Power will be able to check their Zacian. This is great. This is great for us. Cool. So we're going to be able to get a double KO here, plus an Airstream onto our Ray, and then combine that with an Electro Web from Lucky next turn. We can go for like an Earth Power. Life Orb Kyogre. Bro, this man woke up and chose so much damage, and we're like, no, stop it. Get some help. That probably would have KO'd our Lucky, even from like half, if we didn't take away the rain. That's how ridiculous that calc is. So Follow Me is completely fine. I think we're going to leave the Ogre at like either 1 or it's gone. It might even be better to leave it at 1, but we'll see. Awesome. I'm happy that I hit my moves. Big damage, emotional damage. We're going to be able to take out the Entity as well. So both these mons are gone. We're at a +1 speed in our Ray. And one thing I want to get you guys to understand the situation is I want to get them to understand the fact that our Ray, they should be respecting like a heavier attack and speed Ray. What they should be respecting here is a physical Ray with heavy attack and a vest. And the reason why I say with a vest is because we didn't take as much damage as we could have taken. We have HP and bulk investment, but they're probably just thinking that that's a vest on a sweeper set. So I want them to think a couple things. One, that we're physical, and two, that we can't protect. So we can abuse both of those into a good position for us early. We also did get an airstream boost, which means we're going to be a little bit faster than we should be. We're going to be about as fast as a Ray should be right now. So we're also not going to be able to be taken advantage of by weird things. You can totally copy my lucky. I don't think that really matters. We gotta spout that boost on our mons. And there's the Zacian. Oh, they're copying the Ray. Oh, they're going to be sad. Yeah, have fun with that one, Chief. So Hurricane will miss on the rain. You have to basically airstream that. And you have to max something, which means you're maxing your Ray. And like, I'm not an idiot. I do understand that that's your only out. So you got a +1 speed on a slow mon, but my lucky still outspeeds you. So the fact if I were to go airstream, if I were to Electro and hit this, we actually can just KO your Scarf Ditto with this. I think that's how that works. Let's go. I'm really surprised to see they brought the Ditto in the first place. So, Electro Web, we hit the Ray, because if they maxed, they would have lost their Scarf. And now they're slower than my Ray, right? Probably, hopefully, definitely, maybe. Definitely, maybe. Let's go. Survey says, yep. Wormwind, and we lower the attack on the Zacian. Oh my goodness. Yo, you tried to hit me with that one and done Ditto tech, but little did you know I'm the Ditto Master Extraordinaire. I didn't even need to use my Ditto. We just went Ray Cray every day. You could totally kill one of these guys with the Behemoth Blade, but like we got the win now. Easy peasy. You didn't even get to max. That's the problem with Zacian teams. I literally say it, I think, at some point in every single video. Well, you didn't even get the KO because you got the -1 attack. We take those. Yeah, you gotta max something, bro. Like, literally, you gotta max something. And if you don't max something, you max nothing. So you gotta surround your teammates with Pokemon that can actually max. You gotta take advantage of that Dynamax candy. Put those to good use. And we take those wins. Kyogre, Zacian, Persian, Ferrothorn. I have very little tools to deal with Ferrothorn. I have a Zacian, I guess Ray's okay. Is there a problem with leading like Ray Comfey here? We just go for Ally Switch if we need to. I guess there's nothing really wrong with that. We could also lead like Grim. I think Grim Ray is actually probably even better. And then we bring Comfey in the back. And then Zacian. See, Ditto's still really good here. Ditto is still really good here. Because we can just copy their Zacian and win the game. But we need to bring the monster to break the Pharaoh, I think. I think it's probably the best to break the monster that can break the Pharaoh. Bring the 3, like, Goon Squad all-in mons and the Comfey to basically heal them up over time. So let's try this. Maybe for like a game 2, we'd weave in like leading Ditto or something and trying to just like steal something. But I do think this is probably the right play. Even like our mons that use not very effective mons versus Pharaoh can actually still do a pretty good job. So we'll see. I wonder if that's like a vested Pharaoh. I wonder how they're being built nowadays. So Zacian Tornadus, that's very, very aggressive. That's probably like one of the most aggressive boards I've seen in a hot minute. We have to fake out if we need it. If you player with me, I win. I'm just going to let you know right now. If you player with me, bro, the game is over. I'm actually thinking about going for an Airstream into the Thunder. It's like a fake out Airstream. Because you can't KO me. Better to get the Wormwind though. It's fine. They're not going to let us like do anything. If they proc our policy, they proc our policy. They just want the Tailwind. And then next turn, if they hit the Grim too, they hit the Grim. I get the Airstream off of it, And then I send out like something else and be fine. So we'll see. Big Airstream energy. It's hard to deal with board though. We have to respect things like Airstream. We have to respect things like Icy Winds. There's a bunch of things that can happen here. So the fake out happens though. Big damage. No sash, please. Behemoth Blade into the Grim slot, probably. And then we get an Airstream boost versus their Thundy, which is gonna be nice. It is gonna be pretty nice. Yeah, we don't care. Like we didn't have any other options for Grim to do. We could have Thunder Wave their Zacian. I don't think that really matters. I'd like to stop the the Tailwind if at all possible. This is the strongest Airstream in the game. Yep. So like now we have shots to actually play the game at like a fair level. So we trade our Grim for a Legendary. Not a restricted, but a Legendary. Trade Prankster Setters. And now we can just come in with like Comfey Policy Proc or Trick Room. I think it's better to come with the Zacian and just go for an Imprison and just try to like stop it. Zap. Huh. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. They're gonna max that thing. Do I care about max Zap? This is a few situations where it's like really good to have Detect on him on. Zap has Detect instead of Protect, which means like Imprison doesn't work against it. So in this exact situation, like I think it's probably better to go for like a Behemoth and see, I'm gonna get that second Airstream up. It's really important that we keep Airstream potential, but like a Quake play would be really nice here too. What if we just protected Zacian and went for them like policy procking me somehow, or even gave ourselves an Airstream? They're gonna Airstream something, right? They're gonna Airstream a Ray and they're gonna Airstream the Ray and Behemoth Blade it. I can see this play coming. They're gonna Airstream the Ray and Behemoth it to guarantee get it off the board. Because they're threatened by the fact that our Air Ray has an Airstream boost already. And Zapdos outspeeds Ray, so they're gonna go double into that slot, which means I'll get the Imprison up, which means they're locked into Play Rough, which means if they do that, I'm able to think of my Policy Proc and use my Policy Proc next turn. Alright, I got shots. You shouldn't be going after the Zacian. You should be respecting the Ray right now. Oh, okay. Unique. The Max Guard trades into Imprison. Yes, please. So that means your Zacian's a hot, wet noodle. Airstream into the Ray. Awesome. So that's basically what I thought, but we were also awarded the fact that like the Zacian didn't try Behemoth Blade me. And they also like could have won a speed tie there, so that's okay with me. I'm alright with this. What's our mon on the back? Is it Ditto or Lecky? Comfey. Okay, that's not as good. We don't really have ways to get the Zap off the board, so we actually have to go all in on the Zap. We're literally going to be like Behemoth Blading and Worm winning a Zap, and we're going to be hoping that they proc our policy with like a player up or something. So Behemoth Blade's up. They still do outspeed our Ray, so Behemoth Blade's going to do 30-ish%. Hopefully don't get static. Oh, that's a lot instead of crit. That's way too much. That shouldn't have done that much. I'll take it. That's how much that does. Player up. Policy's up. They don't get the KO. Almost KO. They crit me back? No. Man, everything's doing way too much damage. That's an Adamant Zacian, by the way. You can kind of tell by the calc there. It's Adamant. And we do KO their Zap. I think that's probably going to almost be game then. Because we have our Zacian imprisoning theirs, which means they're locked into the player, which means we don't have to respect it for the rest of the game. All we have to do is just go into that Ogre slot for the rest of the game, and we'll probably be alright. As long as we don't just die to the Ogre, we'll be okay. Because we can just use Comfey to come in and throw away the 1 foil healing fade away into our Zacian and be in a good spot. Right? Am I incorrect here? We also do outspeed the Kyogre with Ray, if that were to happen. If that was like a thing worth mentioning. It's probably just... I don't think there's a problem with going doubling into the Ogre with the Zacian and protecting Ray for 1 turn. That could actually end up very badly. We want them to kill the Ray so we can come with the Comfey and drop the healing. Yeah, I don't that's terrible. And if you're gonna double up into my Zacian, expecting me to protect, like this would just win us the game, I think. It's really greedy to play something like this, but like that's a lot, and I just want to make your spout weak as shit. Like I don't care if you're a player over my Ray. Like I really just don't care. I'd rather take and not have that like 10% damage on my Zacian, because like I don't want to eat the maximum damage. This is a lot of damage you miss. Okay, we take those. That was like the 1 turn that was a little bit dicey there. But we take those now. Because we can just go into your Ogre and we win the game. We can actually just probably double up into your Ogre and win the game. The fact that we're using Imprisoned Zacian, we don't even need to double up. We can go Sacred Sword Protect. Oh, we don't protect. I guess we'd be doubling up into Ogre then. No, it's fine to ally switch. There's nothing wrong with that. In case they want to proper protect. They can't protect Ogre. I have Imprison. Oh, it feels great, doesn't it? Imprison's so good. Don't you just love Imprisoned Zacian? Don't you just love it? This guy's like thinking, wait, can't I click protect? I just want to protect and hit their other Pokemon. And I'm like, no! You must attack. Only attack, no defense. Yeet delete. Ogre down. You can hit something with Play Rough. All you got's Play Rough, bro. Into the Comfey, obviously, right? Yeah, obviously. And now we just 4 healing it and we win the game with Behemoth Blade. We're the only ones that get to use Behemoth Blade. You know the good move? Comfey, best Pokemon. Let's click the right target. Big Behemoth Blade energy. And you know we do be taking those. I think Imprisoned Zacian is still super, super good. Super good. We just basically saw their Zacian on the board, read its Protect, and ignored it for like 4 turns. That's pretty good in my opinion. Zacian Barrascuda Kyogre. Sounds like a drop for Rayquaza if I've ever seen one in my life. Holy moly. Alright, I'm actually going to try and copy that Ogre. I think Ogre's going to be in their second slot, so I'm going to try and copy it. I'm going to go with... I don't think we want a Grim because I think the entity is very, very realistically coming. So, we're going to go... Zacian. Ditto. Into Lecky, and I think that, like, Regieleki... Sorry, I said Lecky, but I think Comfey is probably a little bit of a more realistic option here. Let me see if I want the Comfey. I think Lecky's also really nice. I'm going to bring the Lecky, I think. Let's bring Lecky instead of Comfey. Comfey's done its job. It already did its job. It's the best non-restricted Pokemon. We don't need to bring it anymore. I think Regieleki can carry us from here. I think Regieleki is really important to use versus Barrascuda if we have like the, what is that, airlock. So it's going to be pretty important. So let's see. We just got to use our Protects correctly in these situations, I think. And Kyogre Whimsicott, awesome. So we're going to be, ooh, are we copying Whims? Is that good for us? No, we're copying, we did it right. We did it right. We knew that the Kyogre was the last one on the slot, so we wanted to copy the Ogre slot to see what they were using. Like, this is a good board for us. We can just go Protect, Spout back, or Thunder back. And, like, they're locking into Spout. We're in a great spot here, because they have to Tailwind. And if we can weaken their Kyogre Spout, we don't really have to care about it. We can also really read a little bit about its set. We're probably just going to go for a Protect here. Protect Zacian, and then are you vested? This looks like a vested and or Scarf set. So that means because it's probably vested, I just want to weaken your Spout while potentially getting some speed control, so I'll just go for the Thunder. And if you want to go for a Spout, which you kind of have to Spout me, bro. If you want to lock yourself into, like, Thunder might not KO the Ditto. Yeah, there's a Spout. It's going to do a lot to the Kyogre, but, like, it's fine, you know? Next turn, we just switch in the, yeah, it does a lot, but, like, you're the one that's probably going to take as much. And the thing is, like, if you're all in on your Spout, the fact that you're not at full means you're sad panda. So are you vested or scarfed? That looks like scarf. Para? We do be taking those, which means we outspeed them now. Right? Probably. It's fine. I don't give a shit. We can actually ignore that Pokemon for the rest of the game. It's Scarf Ogre. Awesome. Just switch out. Their Vest would not have done that much at all. So it's probably Scarf Ogre. So Tailwind. The Tailwind basically counters out the Para. And then they're still faster than the Zacian because of the Scarf. But, like, we're going to be able to turn off their weather. And they're also using a way weaker Water Spout. So, like, they can max it if they want. But, like, we're just going to save our data for the back to check their Zacian. Now we'll switch in our boy. We'll check the Whimsicott Sash here. And put ourselves in a good situation. Energy Ball. Not today. I mean, I'm Rayquaza. Show me that Spout, bro. Crit. Never lucky. Spout. There it is. Totally scarfed. Yeah, you just ignore it, you know? You're able to read that. The more that you play Pokemon, you're able to read people using, like, Scarf Mons just based off how much damage they do. And you're able to understand the movesets, see how much damage you do with things. Like, it's obviously the most scarfed Kyogre I've ever seen. Like, the fact that this is Sash, that's better for us. It's way better for us that this is Sashed because we're able to waste their Tailwind turns with this. We can probably get away with going with, like, let's see, 3 turns on Rain. 2 turns on Tailwind, we can actually get away with going for, like, they have a Zacian in the back, right? We're going to go for the Imprison here. A Protect, and then switch out the Ray. So we're, like, going to go super all in and then kill them on the last turn of Tailwind so they can't reapply it. And we'll have an Imprison up for when their Zacian comes out. It's going to be so nice. We might even just max the Ray next turn and give an Airstream so our Zacian will always be able to outspeed. That's really a cool play. Yeah, go nuts. Like, hit my Zacian, bro. The big spouts. Yeah, it's like rain turned off by Ray. Look at that. It doesn't do shit. So let's see. Who's better to Airstream? It's better to Airstream the Wims, I think. Just because it can go through Protect. Do we even have to? We don't even have to. We don't have to. It's, I mean, I want to. But the fact, if we get up our Imprison, we'll probably win. But then that would tunnel them to player thing, and I'd like to max something else. If you have to protect Wim, use it. Like, go nuts. We can't protect. I used Imprison. You're screwed. Oh, he's switching on an Earth Power. We take those all the way to the bank, yo. Oh my goodness. Yo, the plays for days. I always forget that, like, I'm thinking about, like, we imprison one of their... I'm thinking that Imprison only works on, like, their Zacian. But, like, it works on everything. It's so freaking good. It's so good. Awesome. Kyogre's down. Wims is at 1. Zacian's at half. Like, this is nice. This is nice. Oh my gosh, it's under half within Sacred Sword range. Tailwind's gone. You can come back out and reapply Tailwind, but, like, what are you going to do with it, you know? The big Imprison. Making plays for days. What you got back there? Wim's back again? Guess who's back? Back again. Wims is back. Tell a friend. See, I don't think player will kill me. I do not think that player will kill me. I do not think that player will kill me. Player of Energy Ball might, and you don't outspeed me here. Tailwind, so I don't think player kills me, bro. Maybe I should have doubled. Ha! Took the bait. I should have doubled into the Zacian, though. My fault. We take those, though. We do be taking these all the way to the bank. Ray Zacian, double restricted squad. Yo, talk about Scarf Ogre. Ogre Zacian? Scarf Ogre? Never even heard of it, bro. Rayquaza's the answer. Rain stopped. Better late than never. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when I imprison you, opponent? Barraskewda. Fuck. Alright, let's... there's no more rain, though. Yo, where'd your rain go? Where did your rain go? Let's think about this. It's better to have this on the board, so we can go Electro Web. So you might as well just try and get the Wims off the board. Just for like one turn. And then we just run out lucky win the game. They have to max. Yeah, that's the thing. We're still restricting the max. It's weird. We're like 6 turns in the game. No maxes have happened. So you don't just want to like fodder your Zacian. I think Zacian's still a big Pokemon to deal with if they want to max anything. Like, the Behemoth Blade's still not very effective. Does a shit ton of damage to this thing. So we'll see what they do. Like a Hailstorm? They'd KO their own Ray. They would KO their own Wims for the Hailstorm if they Hailstorm my Ray. Encore. We respect Encore in this house. So they're going after the Zacian. Okay. Yeah, we can just max the Ray next turn if we have to then. Max Quake. Alright, so they're getting spit death boosts. Okay, so they don't actually get a KO this turn, which is nice. Actually, whole 1 HP Sash is up. It actually might have been better if we would have gotten that KO. Because you can Encore my Zacian now and go after my Ray. The thing is, like, I don't want to just max this thing and have it die. Oh, your Orb. Okay, then I don't actually care. I can just max my Lucky and be fine here. You have a max Quake over Selecki. That's not great. Oh, we can always use... Yeah, I think we're still okay. Tailwind turns look like what? 2 turns? 2 turns on Tailwind. You can Encore me. That's okay. I'm perfectly fine with that. We're gonna max this guy. It's hard to see which one. I'll carry the Wind to the Wormwind. You can Encore. I don't think your Barraskewda has a move that can KO my Ray, and if it does, it would also KO the Wims. So, like, worst case scenario, we're trading 1 for 1 here. We're trading 2 for 1, actually, because Zacian is going to get messed up by the Hail as well. So if you go for a Hailstorm into my Ray, you'll get the KO, but we'll get a double KO on Zacian and Wims, and I send out both Mons in the back. Ditto copies Barraskewda, Regieleki just checks you, and you're good. So, like, I'd love to see Hailstorm. Airstream ain't going to do it. Yeah, not doing it. We got the big max. This is why Encore is not as great in this format. It's still a really, really good move. It just doesn't really work in max formats because you trapped me with that Encore and I'm like, nah. Answer completely fine. We're firing the Zacian here. Whimsicott beats Zacian confirmed. Holy moly. Holy moly. Take out the Whims, which means no more Tailwind next turn, which means all I have to do is protect for a turn and we win the game. We're going to send the Ditto out in this slot because you want to guarantee your Ditto copies something. We can also understand a little bit more about the set. We'll try and go for the bounce. It's going to be a speed tag since they got the Airstream boost. Actually, no, wait. We're copying the Airstream boost. We're going to go for the bounce. And you want to guarantee Ditto already copies it. With the, remember, Ditto only copies the Pokemon that's apart from it, across from it. So this is the one chance that Ditto gets to guarantee copy something. And this is their last Tailwind turn. So they still do outspeed, but let's see what they're going to go for. Yeah, they don't even have protect. I'm bouncing, though. We do be bouncing. We do stay bouncing. Now let's see what they want to go after. They might just scoop it up. Barraskewda is a great mon. I think it also like top cut that international challenge. It's still like a really, really good mon. But it's a little bit one-dimensional. If I had to describe a Pokemon in terms of if I had to describe one-dimensional Pokemon like glass cannons, this would definitely be near the top of the list. Like Barraskewda, Pheromosa, all those things. The big Airstream. Somebody hates Ditto. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. How about you get -1? -1 and done. You might die. Like I say, this is a glass cannon. This is a Wormwind, bro. That's close enough. That's Earth Power range. That's definitely Earth Power range. And they're gonna think we have like ShareAlike in the back, but it's just not sashed. Encore peters out. You know, we taking those. Send out the boy. But I do think Barraskewda is good. I loved Barraskewda's Zam back when he was at like 2020 June. I loved that team. Man, when I made that team, I had such a good day. I went to the skate park, right? And I skated for a couple hours, and I was like, man, I want a way to use Expanding Force without using Entity. And I was like, what if I use Max Psychic with Barraskewda Psychic Bang, set the train for a Specs Inner Focus Zam. That's like an uncounterable Expanding Force at the time because there was no Tailwind, like Prankster Tailwind setters are really popular. It was still so good. I mean, it was just such a big brain play for like the very start of Sword and Shield. It came like right around like Crown Tundra time. I loved that team. That was so much fun. You can attack with one thing. You pop off, my guy. You get the one attack to pop off with. Yo, you do be getting those high range crits. I think I go with the Max Flake here just to like rub it in. Just because I want to get the additional what is it? All the animations for thumbnails that I possibly could need. But we do be taking those. Cool team. I would say, you know, when using this team, I got some favorable matchups. I would say that I got some favorable matchups. Matchups that would give this team's problems would probably be Grimstones with like Thunderwave and Screens. That would probably be hard to deal with. I would say matchups that gives us problems are like double to triple fake out users with like faster fake out users in base 100. Like so things that have like Raichu or Mindshao would be pretty hard to deal with. Let's check the team out a little bit. You got the big Zacian, 252 squad. See, that Kartana spread, you don't actually need to be full speed because 109 is wasting so many points in speed. It's 109 base speed, which means you don't really need to speed tie that unless you're really afraid of Alola and Ninetales, which you used to be back in Gen 7. But in reality, you only really need to outspeed like base 100s or Zern, so you can actually cut a lot of those points. You only need like 188 points in speed. The rest can actually go in HP. You get about 68 points in HP off that. With you can even cut 8 of those points and go 4 attack, 4 defense, and have an even better set. But the full HP, the full specialty is what you really want with Jolly Nature still. HP defense Entity, that's fine. Man, this guy's 252 King. Focus Sash, Energy Ball. See, I think anytime you want to use Energy Ball, it's better to use Giga Drain just so you can recap your Sash. You always also want Protect on your Tailwind setters. Very, very important. And this Orb, Barraskewda. Again, you don't really need to be full speed on that guy because like it's like a 135 or 140 something speed tier. It's in no man's land. You just need enough speed to outspeed your threats. You don't really need to ever be full speed on these things. Same thing with the Kyogre. It's one thing to say the Scarf Ogre, which we thought about. There's nothing wrong with Scarf Ogre being full speed, so you can potentially speed tie other Scarf Ogres. But you know what? That's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys like this team. If you guys want to check out this team, there's a link to my Patreon where you guys can check out the rental code and the Poke Paste. It's a pretty cool team, but I wouldn't recommend it for anything super competitive. I would say this isn't an issue of the even more bad Pokemon series, but it's more so me just experimenting to see if Comfey can be used in other situations than using it with like Zekrom. I just want to see a couple other situations where Comfey is good, and that's all we basically did today. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment answering the question of the day, and other than that, peace out, and I'll see you guys next time.